served on the school board before coming here. We dealt with that regular, and I appreciate you very much. I deeply admire you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. We've got a couple of people that are signed up to speak. Melissa or Polly, y'all want to come up and speak at the mic, or?
If you,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. By way of a more formal introduction, I'm Melissa Carter. I'm the director of the Barton Child Law and Policy Center at Emory Law School. We're a clinical law program focused on exclusively all the juvenile law aspects of your work, and specifically have offered ourselves as a resource to the General Assembly to help shape public policy that's based on research and data in this space for the last decade and a half. So it's nice to be back here with you on something that is so positive. Obviously, Leader Abrams has done a lot of thoughtful work here. I've had the privilege to work with her on this as it's developed over time. And I would just, of course, say how much we support what's going on here. And this effort really does remove an immediate barrier that faces kinship caregivers whose needs are critical and urgent. And in doing so, you're doing something very preventative as well. That we know that school is one of the most stabilizing aspects of a child's life. So while there can be so much disruption and vulnerability for that child, that school and the developmental, social, emotional developmental aspects of school, the peer groups, the extracurricular activities, just the day-to-day normalcy of that environment is really critical to even preventing things like delinquency and other engagements with the law, as well as stabilizing that family and giving that caregiver some respite. So with that said, and just echoing everything that Leader Abrams already presented about the bill, I just wanted to again thank you for your leadership on these issues, your responsivity through these measures, and other work that you've done to the needs of kinship caregivers, and just to offer our support. Thank you.
All right. Does anybody in the committee have a question for Ms. Carter? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Polly, you want to come up and speak for a minute?
Hi, I'm Polly McKinney, Advocacy Director at Voices for Georgia's Children. We support this bill a great deal. And one of the things I would also mention, that one of the few things that's been left out of the conversation, is that, as many of you may know, Director Cagle is interested in moving the needle on kinship care in the state to have a lot more kids to prevent entering into the system, and a lot more kids in kinship care. And I think that this is key, because if we get more kids in kinship care and they can't go to school, I mean, as Melissa said, it creates a myriad of other problems. So we think this is a great bill, and we urge your support.
Leader Abrams, when we were going around the state, would you say that this was the #1 issue that most families had about getting their children enrolled in school and having permission to do the things with these children that needed to be done?
Absolutely, sir. Mr. Chairman, we heard in every single one of our hearings, we had 5 hearings across the state, most of which had at least 25, if not more, attendees. And without exception, this came up every single time.
Okay. All right. Representative Rogers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Leader Abrams, this is a good day, I guess. You know, we had a chance to vote on a good bill this morning about the fingerprinting and helping, and these two coming out right now. So I proudly move that we go ahead and just send this one right on.
All right, I have a move and a second. Does anyone on the committee have any other comments for this particular bill? All right, I have a move and a second. All those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Okay, 331.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, I just want to say thank you to you. You have been a strong advocate and partner of kinship care families, and it just means a great deal, I think, not only to those of us who've worked with you on this issue, but to the families that will be served. And so just I want to give my strong appreciation.
Well, we appreciate you bringing the legislation forward. I think you can go to Rules tomorrow and ask for it.
I will try.
All
Thank
right.
you, sir.
Okay, we have one other measure today. We have House Resolution 279 by Representative Stovall. Representative Stovall, if you want to come up and tell us about your resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. I bring before you today House Resolution 279, And it's a resolution that was brought to my attention by actually a constituent of mine who actually has a nonprofit organization that she works with parents on a daily basis. And one of the things we did last year when she approached me, we did a Single Parents Day at the state capitol. And we recognized single parents and all the challenges that they go through, as well as identifying what resources we would need for making sure that they have the support they need. And so what they did, her organization, and she teamed up with several other organizations across the state and actually reached out to counties like Bibb, Crisp, Douglas, Bartow, Greene, Rockdale, Stevens, Gwinnett, Irwin, Emmanuel, Richmond, Washington County, Ben Hill, and also the counties had the highest rate of single-parent households, which was DeKalb in 2015, and in 2016, Clayton, Lumpkin, Chatham, Clay, and Stewart. And so what that group of nonprofits, what they did was went around to these different counties and reached out to those organizations to see if they can gain support for being able to recognize in the state of Georgia Single Parents Day on March the 21st. And so I bring before you the resolution, also recognizing that it's nationally recognized. Actually, in 1984, President Reagan issued a proclamation designating March the 21st as National Single Parent Day. And so what I wanted to do with this resolution is have Georgia to recognize Single Parents Day on March the 21st. And knowing that that the dedication that our single parents, and I'm actually a single parent myself when my children are grown, so I don't know if that still counts as being a single parent, but raising them as young children. And a lot of times we think of single parents not just ones who self-select to be single parents, but a lot of times you have parents that of no consequence of their own or no choice of their own, they end up becoming widows or widowers, or just like we just got through talking about, the grandparents end up having to be parents, so they'll be considered to be also sometimes single parents. And so that's kind of the basis of the bill. We did do a couple of events that we did in DeKalb County at the mall. We did a Single Parents Day at the mall in DeKalb County. And then in the county where I represent, in Clayton County, we also did one. Had a huge turnout. We had actually organizations there offering services. And so the purpose of the bill is just to recognize that we do have single parents here in the state of Georgia, and also helping to identify resources that are definitely needed for them to be able to help them along with some of the challenges that they are facing today.
Anyone have any questions? Representative Scott.
No, I don't have a question. I'll just have a statement. Representative Stovall, I do recognize that we have a lot of single parents, and I do think that this is a good resolution. And thank you. Thank you for thinking of single parents.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. I have a question for legal counsel. The way the resolution is drawn up, it would be voted on by us, and then it would go to the Senate to be voted on correctly. Is that correct? Okay. 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 All right. That's what you were looking for, was to.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Does anyone else have a question concerning the resolution? Do we have anyone in the audience that would like to speak to the resolution? Come on up. That's okay. Get you on camera here.
Oh, gosh, a while. My name is Pamela Perkins Karn, and I'm the coordinator for the Interfaith Children's Movement. And we are an advocacy movement that gathers our faith communities together to advocate on behalf of children and children's issues. And we do understand the many challenges that our single-parent families do face. And so we appreciate Representative Stovall recognizing those challenges and for bringing forth the need for services so that our children, all children, have an opportunity to fulfill their potential. So thank you so much, Representative Stovall, and thank you, Mr. Chairman, for allowing us to speak on behalf of this resolution.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Okay, Representative Stovall, you have anything else you want to add to this, or just?
No.
Okay, all right. Representative Scott,
I was just gonna say at the proper time, I
Uh,
would like,
the proper times now.
okay, that a due pass for the resolution.
I have a due pass and a second. Is there any other discussion by the committee? All right, all those in favor of the due pass motion say aye. All opposed, like sign. The resolution passes, and you can, should be able to ask for it in rules tomorrow if you'll go on over and fill out the paperwork.
Yeah. Thank you, and I
All right.
appreciate it, Mr. Chairman, and also members of the committee. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. There being no other business to come before the committee, we are adjourned.